Detransitioning, a closer look. We'll be back in a few moments. Greetings and Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to one and to all. Thank you for those that have joined in and those that may catch the replay. Welcome, the cynical one and Joy. Thank you so much. And to those who may be watching or listening on the roads or in the clouds, greetings to you as well. Today's topic I thought would be interesting and one that I'm learning a little bit more about is called detransitioning, a closer look. But before I go further, let me remove this banner and present my disclaimers because they will definitely be needed today. The first being the Fair Use Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, which states, allowance is made for fair use of copyrighted material for purposes of commentary, criticism, news reporting, research, education, teaching, and or scholarship. It provides for the legal, non-licensed citation and or incorporation of copyrighted material by others which might be infringing under other circumstances. And most definitely, viewer discretion disclaimer. The following broadcast contains mature themes and situations intended for adults. Viewer discretion is advised. And I see a couple of comments, so let me capture those. And Joy, no, I haven't, not yet. I will check it on completion of this, but thank you so much. So again, today's topic is detransitioning. And you can see in the thumbnail and the photo in front of you, a photograph. And this photograph depicts detransitioning. Now, I'm going to go over a quick term which everyone by now should know, and that's transgender. And before I continue, let me say that this is, and I intend it to remain, a all-inclusive platform where those who listen or those who may decide to come up and speak or offer their opinions, and I do, trust me, I understand people are passionate on whatever side of the fence you may be on, and that is no issue. I just want those to know that you may do that. I won't censor anyone, but I will not tolerate any blatant disrespect to anyone. It is very important for me and for others that I maintain the integrity of this platform. Now, I may not be able to capture everything, but I will do my best in doing so that people can feel safe. Again, this is a sensitive topic, or it may be a sensitive topic to many. However, it's interesting and I want to talk about it. So, that being said, let me continue. So, transgender, textbook definition: someone whose gender identity differs from that typically associated with the sex they were assigned at birth. Now, there are many that identify with this. And in the background of the photo that you see in front of you, for those that are watching, or those that catch the replay, or in the thumbnail, is the flag that identifies with transgender. Now, this topic is in reference to, hi there, Lucy Warren's World. How are you? I'm so glad to see you. And as I was saying, this particular flag represents transgender. Now, this particular topic is in reference to detransitioning. Now, what is detransitioning? Let me share my screen. We'll be going over a couple of videos and then I'll drop the link if anyone has anything they would like to offer. And again, all comments and opinions are welcome as long as you remain respectful. And with that, I will attempt to present this screen. And we'll look at a couple terms here. Hopefully the audio is clear. Detransition is the cessation or reversal of a transgender identification or gender transition temporarily or permanently through social, legal, and or medical means. Again, detransition, which is the topic of this broadcast, is the cessation or reversal of a transgender identification or of gender transition temporarily or permanently through social, legal, and or medical means. Hopefully everyone was able to see and hear that. Put this back up. Have a couple of more comments here. And Lucy is speaking to Cynical. Hey there, Leonia. How are you? Happy Sunday. Perhaps it is Monday to you or to others, depending upon where you are. I have listeners from here and abroad. So again, those just coming in, we're talking about detransitioning, a closer look. And that is in reference to those that decided to reverse what they changed at one point. Oh, thank you. It was much better in my younger years before all of the coughing and such, but I'm making it through. So are we all on the same page about what this is about? And I just wanted to do the meaning of transgender before we get into the meat and potatoes of detransitioning. We'll be looking at a couple of stories, and shout out to TRT World, who will be going over her video, which is an awesome video. Now, let me be clear. Whatever decisions people make in their lives, and this is not related to this particular topic, but any decisions you make, I have no judgment. I have no room, trust me, to judge anyone, whether it's their food choices, adult beverages, what you may do outside of your I'll just say home. Now, there are things that I'll report on and I will levy my opinion, but there's no judgment. So let me be clear with that. The same thing applies to this broadcast. What you do is what you do. I just seek clarity and understanding and presenting that to others as well. So now that that is clear, I will continue. And again, I'm going to share a screen, or shall I say, attempt to share a screen for more information. And again, comments are welcome. Just be respectful. And I will be dropping the link just for those who may have anything they would like to add. Again, this is fair use, courtesy of Real Clear Science. And the title is We Need to Talk About Transgender Detransition. It's on the rise. Now, again, I implore you to always, always, always conduct your own independent, thorough, and might I add, meticulous research. And this was written on June 21st, 2023. And basically, it speaks about a doctor by the name of Dr. McKinnon, an associate professor of social work at York University in Toronto, who thought that transgender detransitioning wasn't really a thing. This again, as it says in the paragraph, and I'm reading it for those who may not be watching, who may be driving, listening, laying down, or doing whatever on this Sunday fun day. 2017 thought that transgender detransitioning wasn't really a thing. Further, a few people who undergo gender affirming therapy halt or undo their medical interventions and re-identify as their birth sex. But, and again, this is not me, this was Dr. McKinnon in 2017. But they are so few in number that their experiences doesn't even merit study. So at that time, from his writing, he didn't feel there were enough to even give credence to. That's how I surmise this paragraph. After all, doing so might provide empirical firepower to anti-trans forces. And as you can see in the very beginning of the paragraph that follows, 6 years later, and you can do the math, I'm not a math person, I still count on my fingers. I'm a writer. Go figure. 6 years later, McKinnon, a transgender man, has significantly shifted his stance on detransition. You can read the remainder at your leisure if you should desire. And let me get back over. I should pop up in a few. I'm waiting for this to queue up. Let me go on my other device while I'm waiting. I hope I do not have to shut this and come back, because the next two should be awesome. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That happens. So I'll bring that back up, and let me see who this is. Hey there, James Gite. Thank you so much for coming by and smashing the like. So there you are with that article. And any thoughts, comments you may have, please leave them in the comment section. Next, and let me remove this really quickly. I will attempt to share another screen. And this one is entitled, What Studies Say About Transgender. Again, this is fair use. This is a good little few moments, but I think it is relevant to this topic and conversation. And I'm waiting for it to queue up. I am at the router. And prayerfully, it will not take forever to come up. Okay. Come on, Chrome. All right.
A huge backlash against the transgender community, and specifically transgender social media star Dylan Mulvaney after they got a brand deal from Bud Light.
A beer is now promoting itself during March Madness, a male-oriented event, by hiring a man who says he is a woman dressed as Audrey Hepburn to sell you beer.
Whether you're liberal or conservative, you probably have some strong feelings about this. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what medical studies say about gender affirmation and transgender people, and how I, as a real doctor, a board-certified plastic surgeon, believe this whole situation with transgender children and adults should be handled. Well, this is a super hot topic, and I know people have very strong opinions about transgender topics today. And so I'm going to try to handle it from a completely medical perspective. We're going to hear what the medical associations recommend, and we're going to talk about the studies that have actually looked at transgender surgery and transgender people in general. And in the end, I'm going to go on a limb and give you my opinion of this whole thing.
This is how AG1 works to upgrade your health routine by combining many quality ingredients into something powerfully simple. It's time to get foundational nutrition at drinkag1.com.
This will continue after the ad.
Did you know that only 0.7% of the population is transgender? Well, this is a relatively tiny segment of the overall population of the United States, yet it seems like this subject is in the news every single day. Well, studies show that transgender people realize that they are transgender at an average age of only 8.5 years old. However, they don't disclose their feelings until about 10 years later on average. Now, before we go any we go any further, I think it's important for us to define two very important terms.
Okay, your thoughts on that little snippet as far as age? Any thoughts on that? I'm not really sure. I'll have to do some comparisons and to see if there are any stat charts out there as far as when one comes into that reality. We'll continue. Again, fair use. And he's about to break down two parameters. Again, this is fair use. And what studies say. And thank you all again for joining, and please make sure you hit that like. And thank you.
Cisgender and natal gender. I think we all know what transgender means, but do you know what cisgender and natal gender means? Because I think it's important to this whole discussion. The term cisgender refers to people who identify as the gender of their birth. Natal gender refers to the sex that was assigned at birth. So, I was born a male, I identify as a male, so I'm a cisgendered male because I identify as that, and my natal gender is male. Well, something that is really concerning to me is that studies show that adolescents and adults who identify as transgender have high rates of depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-harm, and suicide. In fact, one study found 56% of youth who identify as transgender have contemplated suicide, with 31% actually attempting suicide. Now, this is compared to cisgendered, which is 20% and 11% comparatively. So think about it. 1 out of every 3 transgender youth have attempted suicide, and over half have considered it.
Okay, those were statistics as far as this particular broadcast, meaning what I've just shared. Your thoughts on that, and again, I will have to definitely look at other stats to compare the accuracy. Not to discredit, but to me, that's an alarming rate. And we will continue. And after this, we'll go into the main video for review by TRT World, which I thought was absolutely amazing. Again, this is fair use. Thank you for those that have joined or will catch the replay.
I mean, these are staggering and really, really sad numbers. Now, as the parent of 2 high school-aged children, for me to think that either of them would contemplate suicide is absolutely frightening. And I think that we can all agree that we do not want our youth, whether they're cisgender or transgender, to be in that situation and to be so down and to have such, I guess, lack of hope that they would actually consider this type of thing. Now, some people may say that transgender people have more mental illness. Therefore, they may be more likely to contemplate suicide. So is this true? Is there evidence that transgender people have more underlying mental illness than cisgendered people? Well, let's see what the experts say. According to the American Psychiatric Association, being transgender or gender variant implies no impairment in judgment, stability, reliability, or general social or vocational capabilities. However, these individuals often experience discrimination due to a lack of civil rights protections for their gender identity or expression. Such discrimination and lack of equal civil rights is damaging to the mental health of transgender and gender-variant individuals. So, mental health issues among transgender people are more the effect of multiple factors, including discrimination, instead of an underlying difference in the amount of mental illness compared to the cisgendered community. And this, I think, is super important to realize. So is it just the psychiatrists that believe this? Well, let's see what the American Academy of Pediatrics states. They state that if a mental health issue exists, it most often stems from stigma and negative experiences rather than being intrinsic to the child. So transgender people aren't born with more mental illness, and mental illness does not cause them to be transgender.
And that was very poignant. Mental illness, according to that doctor, and you can view the remainder of that video. I'll make sure that I have the link in the description, states that mental illness does not cause one to be transgender. And I have a couple of comments here. And that's Leonia and Lucy. And does anyone have anything they would like to add at this time? I have one more video to go over and then I'll drop the link. And this is just some context. If not, here's the last one again. This is courtesy of TRT World. And it's fair use. And it's entitled True Colors, Episode 2, Detransition. Again, thank you to those that have joined and those who may catch the replay. And I'm waiting for it to queue up. It should be up shortly. And this is the main video. I'm waiting for it to come all the way up. So thank you for being patient. And we are ready. Again, shout out to TRT World. This is entitled True Colors. It's still circling around. So once it's queued, we'll go into it. All right. Get down here. All right. Hold on. It's asking me to wait. It's almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. This was an awesome video, at least to me. Again, courtesy of TRT World.
I was trans for 9 years and then decided to detransition. And my biggest regret is having breast removal surgery because I was way too young. I was raised in a very conservative area with very strict definitions on what it meant to be a man or a woman. And I always saw women as very weak, submissive people. Not in like a conscious way, more of like a subconscious thought on what women should and shouldn't do, and is very much looked down on women as a whole because I saw how much more respect men were getting. You know, I hated women, unfortunately. I hated myself for being a woman. I was about 17-ish when
Okay, that's the part right there that I'm going to stop at. And I'm not sure how many people, because I have this streaming other places as well, and some people may not want to speak on this, especially those that may catch the replay and those who identify. How many of you, either yourselves or you may know of others that have felt that way, that women are weak, they may not, through some optics, stand up for themselves, and due to those aforementioned reasons, had a hatred for women? I just wanted to ask that question before I continue with this video, because I thought that was a pivotal part, especially in the very beginning. So again, this is courtesy of TRT World. And we'll continue with this video. Again, this is fair use. And thank you to those that have come in and those who may catch the replay. This is True Colors by TRT World.
when I decided, well, not really decided to change my gender, just kind of started questioning. But I wasn't really sure if that's what I wanted. But then I met a bunch of older people who were like 30 plus, who were like, I was explaining how I was feeling. And they were like, oh, you're transgender, you're a man. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I didn't have a community, I didn't have a family. And that's when I found these older adult trans people, and they kind of made me feel like I had a family again, like a sense of community. And that's really why they had so much influence. So when I started hormones, I was taking injections and a gel. And the gel you rub in the armpit twice a day, and the injection is once every 2 weeks. That's how I started. And I started having issues mostly with my genitalia. I had a lot of atrophy and swelling, and having trouble going to the bathroom, and I developed rashes. And I would get these giant lumps under my skin.
So this portion of the video describes some of the effects, including the injections and some of the physical I would say, reactions to possibly the injections and gels, to include the lumps and private areas. I'll continue with this video, again, courtesy of TRT World and fair use. This is true colors. So I am going to advance it a bit. Okay.
Explained any of the long-term side effects of transitioning. I knew that testosterone would deepen my voice and give me facial hair, but that was about all I knew. I didn't know about the risk to fertility or the genital changes or issues with the bathroom or the bone issues. And I do want to have children, and the fact that I can no longer breastfeed is a huge sense of regret that I have. So I experienced post-surgical depression, which is when I had a lot of regret immediately after surgery about what I did. I started self-harming again, which I hadn't done in many years.
Okay. Now this is going into regrets. And my question would be to anyone that would like to express themselves or reflect. Have you, if you've experienced this or know anyone that's experienced this, fallen into a depression and engaged in some of the activities and behaviors of those who suffer forms of depression as a result of transitioning and or detransitioning. And we'll continue with the video. Again, this is fair use. Courtesy of TRT World, and this is called True Colors. And I'll advance it just a little bit more.
And we had one session, and next thing I know, I called to make the appointment, and they said my case had been closed, and she wouldn't see me anymore. It's pretty easy to get surgery and testosterone. Even with trans women, estrogen pills, like it's pretty easy. Now you can literally just walk into any doctor's office in pretty much any big city and walk out with hormones that same day. Without any real education. They give you a piece of paper that says all of the potential side effects and benefits, and just tell you to sign it. Most people don't even read it. Puberty blockers that they use when you start puberty, which is anywhere from 9 to 12, for a breast removal surgery, you can be as young as 13. I mean, Lupron is the main puberty blocker that's given, and Lupron is also the medication given to chemically castrate sex offenders. And, you know, they were sued in the early 2000s for being a criminal enterprise and rebranded as a medication for transgender children as a puberty blocker. It's so unethical when you have literal children, teenagers, making these decisions, because it's not the teenagers making it on their own. It's the adult influencers, you know, telling them what they should and should not feel. Having breast removal surgery.
I think that was also very critical, that it's not the young people, it's the older people. I see Lucy still here. Awesome. Again, your thoughts and opinions on this particular video, which is almost at the end. And let me go ahead and drop this as I complete this as part of the video. And this is for anyone who has anything to offer, express. You're welcome. Just remain respectful. Again, fair use. Courtesy of TRT World, True Colors, Detransition. And this is the ending on the ethical concerns.
After that, it's like the kid is not really. I mean, I know 5-year-olds that think they're dinosaurs. You know what I mean? So sitting there, it's like one day you're a dinosaur, the next day you're a boy, and adults take it so seriously that they end up changing these aspects of their children that will have lifelong repercussions. Let kids be kids. You know, kids don't need to worry about their gender or their future in that way. Just let them live their life and stop pushing an agenda on them about affirm, affirm, affirm. You know, just let them live.
All right, that was a good portion of True Colors, Detransitioning. And again, you could find that video on TRT World's page. So any thoughts of the information shared in reference to detransitioning, which is the cessation or reversal of transitioning. Again, I understand this may be a sensitive topic to many. However, it is a real topic and a real part of life for many. And I wanted to present that material. So I will leave the link there for a few, just to see if anyone has anything they would like to add or express in reference to some of the stats that you heard, some of the effects, or anything in reference to detransitioning, or if there are those that don't agree with detransitioning. Again, it's all about choices. And this broadcast, there are no right or wrong answers. They're just opinions and your thoughts. So I am going to put my mic on mute for a few. And as I said, you're welcome to express yourself. If not, I will close this out and thank those that tuned in and those who may catch the replay. Okay. I am at 1:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and just under an hour. That is my presentation on detransitioning, a closer look. Again, we reviewed transgender, the textbook definition, and detransitioning, and reviewed few videos in reference to the process and the stories of those who have or are in the process of detransitioning. Thank you to those, again, that joined in, those that are listening, and those who may catch the replay. Enjoy the remainder of this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Make sure get your fluids in and your walk or some form of exercise in, and feed yourselves, not just physically, but mentally as well. With that, everyone, be safe, be well, you know the rest. Be healthier. Until next time, bye-bye for now.